Imagine a world just sort of hidden alongside ours, where magic is real, but it's feared, misunderstood,
Yeah.
constantly under watch.
Yeah, and controlled.
Exactly. Now picture this island, forgotten, this old house falling apart. But then there's this tiny, defiant yellow flower, and that's the spark for this huge transformation we're diving into today.
We are getting into the really remarkable story of Arthur Parnassus and Marsyas Island. And it's more than just a story, isn't it? It's this whole hidden magical community fighting back.
Right, against this big, sort of prejudiced government agency and finding a whole new way to define family along the way. Our sources for this deep dive, they give us this really rich narrative. We're looking at Arthur going back to this abandoned orphanage, his battles with daikami.
That's the departments in charge of magical youth and magical adults. Quite a mouthful.
It is, and
Yeah.
we see this amazing, diverse community he starts to build almost from nothing.
And our mission really is to unpack that, to find the key insights in this incredible story. How does one person's, sheer refusal to give up, how does that spark a whole movement for acceptance, for just the right to be?
Okay, so let's kick off right at the beginning. Arthur Parnassus heads back to Marsyas Island. It's been, 28 years?
Yeah, a long time. He gets ferried over by this character, Merle, who sounds delightfully grumpy.
Yeah.
And Arthur's just sort of staring at this dirt road going to the woods.
What's the feel of the place when he gets there? That initial setting?
Oh, it's bleak. The house is on this jagged cliff, and the description is just unremarkable in how run down it is. It's not just old, it's like collapsing.
So it kind of mirrors his own feelings, maybe, about the path.
Exactly. It's a direct confrontation with this past you probably tried to bury. It shows you just how much work, how much renewal is needed. It's not a happy homecoming, not a first.
And you can feel his despair, right? Like it's just too much to fix. But then, that flower...
Ah, yes. Amidst all the rot and decay, this tiny yellow flower, like smaller than his thumbnail, pushing through a broken step.
And the source calls it rebirth, perseverance, color, life. That's pretty powerful symbolism for such a small thing.
It really is. It's pure, defiant hope, isn't it? It's thriving where everything else is falling apart. And for Arthur, it's like, okay, maybe this is possible. Maybe I can rebuild this place. And maybe myself too,
It shifts everything.
Completely. From despair to determination.
And it's not just Arthur feeling defiant. The island itself seems awake. He meets a tree that moves its roots.
Yeah, sentient tree clears his path. And then there's Zoe Chapelwhite, the forest sprite, grass literally growing where she walks.
And she asks him why the house shouldn't have burned down.
Whoa.
Right.
It immediately tells you this island is alive. It has its own history, its own opinions, maybe even its own trauma. It's not just scenery, it's a participant.
So Arthur and Zoe, they start the work. Merle brings supplies, complaining the whole time, I bet.
Oh, you know it. And they spend a whole year just getting the house back up to code. It's a massive effort.
All with the goal of bringing magical kids there, creating a safe place. Which begs the question, why does it have to be so secret? What's going on politically?
Well, that's crucial context. The government bodies, Decami for youth and Decoma for adults, they're under heavy scrutiny. Apparently, the previous leadership, this group called Extremely Upper Management.
Seriously? That's the name?
That's what the source says.
Okay.
Anyway, they're dissolved. So there's this power vacuum, things are unstable, and the magical community is feeling pretty vulnerable.
Okay, makes sense. But then the government rolls out this see something, say something campaign. Even after a poll showed most people support magical rights, that feels off.
It's more than off. It feels like deliberate suspicion-mongering, doesn't it? Like they're trying to turn public opinion, or at least harness fear, rather than protect anyone. It's control, not support.
And this sets the stage for people like Jeannie and Router.
Exactly. The narrative tells us she later becomes the interim head of Dizakami. And her background, well, the sources mentioned previous support for legislation against kids from queer families talking about their families.
Wow.
Yeah, and also rumblings, as the source puts it, about wanting to clamp down on transgender kids seeking medical care. So, it strongly suggests a prejudiced agenda is driving this push for control.
Right.
It's important we state that this is what the source material conveys. We're not taking a side here.
Understood. So, facing this climate, Arthur and Linus Baker, who used to work for Decami, right?
Correct. And now he's Arthur's partner.
They head to Bandy Cross, the government building, for a hearing. And things get interesting right away. They find a bug in their hotel room.
A listening device, yeah.
Yeah.
But Arthur, instead of freaking out, he's like, okay, let's give them a show.
What does that tell you about him?
He refuses to be intimidated.
Yeah.
Right. He turns their own spying tactics back on them. It's clever, proactive. It shows he's not just going to react. He's going to play the game, but by his rules where possible.
And when they get to Bandycross, it's a total circus. Reporters, counter-protesters yelling, "See something, say something."
Yeah, intense hostility. But Arthur just wades right in.
He doesn't back down at all. He starts correcting the record immediately.
Right. He calls out this guy Burton from the Council of Utmost Importance. Another great name.
Seriously?
About that, Paul. Arthur insists, no, there was a majority supporting magical rights. He's fighting your narrative right there in public.
And then he defends the kids. He hates that they call them occupying the
Oh,
orphanage.
that part is powerful.
Yeah.
He insists on naming every single child. Lucy, Chauncey, Talia, Theodore, Sal, Fee, even David, who isn't even physically there yet.
Why is naming them so important in that moment?
Because it forces everyone listening, the council, the reporters, everyone, to see them as individuals, not just case files or problems. It's about basic humanity. You know, he's saying these are children, not occupants. It's fierce protection.
And he goes even further. He reveals his own past abuse in a government orphanage.
Yeah, directly challenging another council member, Sallow, who denies any sanctioned abuse. Arthur hits back with public records, 76 masters accused within D-Ligamy itself.
So he's not just sharing his trauma, he's exposing a systemic cover-up.
Precisely. He's using his personal pain to blow the whistle on decades of institutional failure, providing hard evidence for their own records. It completely shreds their denial.
But Router, she's not moved. She attacks him personally, right? Brings up his Phoenix form, his relationship with Linus.
It's a nasty counterattack. She accuses him of collecting employees, suggests Linus faked reports, really trying to discredit him personally instead of addressing the systemic issues he raised.
And then she asks if he illegally moved magical people, and Arthur just says yes.
Boom. Just like that. No hedging. It's radical honesty. He's basically saying your laws are unjust, so yes, I broke them to protect people. It's a huge moment.
And Router uses this. She announces she's now interim head of D-Ligamy. Convenient.
Right. And her first act, sending a new inspector to Marcius to decide if the kids are safe or need to be removed.
And she makes a point of saying the inspector won't be male, referencing Arthur's propensities for distraction.
It's so calculated and cruel, weaponizing his relationship with Linus, turning the inspection into a personal attack. The stakes just got incredibly high for Arthur and those kids.
Enter Inspector Harriet Marblemaw. Tell us about her.
Oh, she's the perfect embodiment of cold bureaucracy. Tall, thin, severe bun, blood-red lips, this imposing red coat. She sees children purely as charges, not people.
Just reading the description gives you chills.
Exactly. She represents everything Arthur is fighting against. The lack of empathy, the rigidity, the dehumanization.
And she claims she's incapable of experiencing fear. Arthur clocks that, right?
He does. He notes he'll keep that in mind. It suggests he's already thinking strategically about how to deal with someone who claims to be immune to, well, basic human emotion. Maybe fear isn't the way to handle her.
So how do the kids react to her? Because they don't just sit back quietly.
Oh, absolutely not. It's fantastic. David, who is supposed to hide because he's unregistered, just marches up and declares he's 47 years old.
Ah, using his dramatic flair.
Totally. And Lucy tries to use his pet scorpion, Beelzebub, to scare her.
How does that go?
Not well for Beelzebub. Marblemaw just calmly catches it and crushes it, calling it a lesson on how life works.
Oof, cold.
Beyond cold. Then Talia gets furious when Marblemaw suggests she shave her beard.
Wait, Talia the gnome?
The garden gnome, yeah. She literally starts digging a grave for Marblemaw and offers to help her in.
Okay, that's intense.
Right. And Chauncey, bless him, proudly shows off his first armpit hair, a sign of becoming a man. And Marblemaw just tells him to shave it.
She just has zero sensitivity to who they are.
None. Even Calliope, the island's cat, attacks her when she makes a snide remark about dogs. The whole household, non-human members included, pushes back.
These aren't just random acts of defiance, are they?
Not at all. Each one is an assertion of their unique self, their identity, against this force trying to standardize and sanitize them. They're defending their home and their found family in the only ways they know how.
There's also this really important moment between Arthur and Lucy. Lucy feels like there's a double standard. Why can David be a monster, but he can't?
Yeah, it's a tough question, and Arthur handles it beautifully. He apologizes, explains that for David, being a monster was about finding joy in theatrical fear, not actually causing harm.
And he tells Lucy he can be whoever he wants.
Right, as long as he remembers that free will is paramount. even if you disagree with others' choices. It's Arthur learning to parent beyond just protecting them physically. He's nurturing their right to self-discovery.
That's a huge step for him as a father figure.
Absolutely. It shows he's internalizing the very principles he's fighting for.
Which leads to this incredible moment when Arthur suggests hiding David from Marblemouth.
Yeah, because David's unregistered. Seems like the practical thing to do, right?
But the kids, they refuse unanimously.
It's amazing. Sal speaks for them all. David doesn't hide. If he can't be seen, then the rest of us won't be either. We'll go on strike.
Wow.
And they say, we have the right to exist, registered or not. Arthur is just floored.
That must have hit him hard, his own lessons coming back like that.
Totally. It shows they're not just kids he's protecting. They are a unified front, a family with principles they're willing to stand up for together. It's incredibly moving.
Okay, so the tension is maxed out. Router comes back, this time with DCOM agents, ready for a showdown.
Looks like it's game over. Right. But then the whole village shows up. They stand with Arthur.
Community support, love that. And then Lucy, he does something unexpected.
Yeah, Lucy, with his ability to sort of see things in people, he looks at Ratter and reveals her past trauma. Something about her father being hurt by someone with spiders in her brain who lost control of magic.
Whoa, that changes things, doesn't it? Even in a standoff.
It's stunning. It doesn't excuse Ratter's actions, not at all, but it adds this layer of, like, tragic understanding. It suggests her fear and prejudice come from this deep, painful place. It's a moment of unexpected empathy.
And then Zoe steps forward.
Yes, and reveals she's the true Queen of Marsyas. She tells her own traumatic story, hiding under her grandmother's body during government purges, tasting blood.
Oh my God.
Horrifying. But she talks about how the island community healed her, and she says, we were happy, and then we were told we were dangerous. It connects the past violence directly to their present persecution.
It's history, trauma, and defiance all rolled into one.
Exactly. Reclaiming their story, their right to simply exist without being labeled dangerous.
And then comes the magic, the big moment.
The biggest. Zoe uses her power as queen. Arthur channels his phoenix form, joins her. The phoenix peak touches the seabed, cracks appear. The island, it grows massively, like 5 times its original size. New houses, different kinds of dwellings just spring up everywhere.
Wow, so they literally make more space.
It's an act of creation born out of necessity. A magical expansion to build the sanctuary they need. Not fighting fire with fire, but building something new and bigger. It's incredible symbolism.
So Marsyas becomes this thriving peninsula.
Yeah, a safe haven. And people start coming in, magical beings, humans. We hear about a solicitor, Gail, setting up shop, even a Selkie psychotherapist.
That's amazing. It's not just refuge. It's about building a functional, supportive society. Legal help, mental health.
Exactly. Holistic support. They're building a real community, addressing all the needs. And education, too. Linus gets 3 new teachers to help him.
And amidst all this rebuilding and growth, Linus proposes to Arthur.
Such a beautiful moment, and his words are perfect. He talks about Arthur buying the very house that should have caused him only pain.
That, by rights, you should have razed to the ground.
Right. You didn't, though. Instead, you did what you always do.
Yeah.
You still persist.
It just captures Arthur's essence, doesn't it? That relentless compassion and drive to build, even from ruins.
It really does. And the wedding.
Yeah.
Officiated by David. David the Yeti. The unregistered child who wasn't supposed to be seen. Now he's marrying them.
And he talks about finding a place where I could be me, where I wouldn't have to hide.
It gives you chills. And then the other kids start chanting, one of us, as Arthur and Linus, now Baker Parnassus, hug David.
It's the perfect symbol of everything they fought for, isn't it? Chosen family, acceptance, belonging.
Absolutely. The complete triumph of love and community over bureaucracy and prejudice.
Okay, wow, what a journey. So let's try and unpack this a bit. We started with Arthur, alone, facing this ruined house.
Yeah, and it became this incredible story about the power of choosing your family, about finding the courage to fight injustice, and about how empathy can really change things, even when you're up against so much fear.
Right, from fixing a house to fighting the government to literally expanding an island. It shows that strength isn't just about power, is it? It's about compassion, sticking together.
So what does this all mean, maybe for you listening? I think this deep dive really shows that sometimes the best way to fight systems based on fear and control isn't just head-on confrontation.
Yeah, it's also about building something different.
Exactly. Building alternatives. Communities where acceptance and support are just the rules. Showing, by doing, how strong belonging really is.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. If one tiny flower could inspire rebuilding a home and one act of collective defiance could literally grow a world, what small, maybe consistent things, acts of kindness or advocacy or just radical acceptance, could you do today? What ripples might that create in your own community?